Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihi. Amma ba'da. We greet our listening audience with a greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I'm bringing my first sheet up. Find my sheet now. Be with you in one moment. Okay. We're going to look at Surah 55, verse 15. It's a very short verse this morning, but it's something that came up recently, a question about this verse here. So let's read the English translation first. And it reads, He created, and the jinn did he create of smokeless fire. Of smokeless fire. This is the translation that he gives. And in the Arabic text, it reads, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, wa khalaqa al-jannah min marijin min narin. Wa khalaqa al-jannah min marijin min narin. So let's look at the key words here that he has defined. Wa khalaqa is he created. Wa khalaqa, he created. Al-jannah, here he's saying al-jannah is al-jinnah. Al-jannah, he's defining, is al-jinnah. Al-jinnah means the jinn. This is our topic. The jinn. The jinn. We don't have the English equivalent, so we say the jinn. Perhaps after the presentation, we may think of an English equivalent. Min marijin, from marijin. What is marijin? Marijin is lahabin, shadidin, sati'in. So these three words here, these three nouns, we start with the noun here because they're defining. Lahabin. Lahabin is a flame or blaze, a flame. And sati'in is luminous, a very luminous, strong flame. Luminous, a luminous, strong flame. That's marijin. Min narin, and narin, he has defined as unsarin tabi'iyin fa'alin. يمثله النور والحرارة. So he's saying it's a unsarin tabi'iyin fa'alin. That is an active, natural element. An active, natural element that light and nur and heat resembles it. Light and heat resembles it. Or even we could say symbolizes it. And we will see from our presentation. And that is the idea of fire. It's an active natural element in which light and heat resembles it or symbolizes it. Now let's go to we're going to take a look at the Tafsir Jalalain. He says, Bismillahi ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim. Wa khalaqa al-Jannah min marijin min narin. Which is the verse that we're dealing with. So he comments on the first part, wa khalaqa al-Jannah. And he created the jinn. He said, Aba al-Jinni, wa huwa Iblisu. The father of the jinn. And it is Iblis. And we know from, or we may know from the Quranic story, that it was Iblis who claimed, who boasted that to Allah that you made me from fire. You made me from fire. And you made him from clay, showing his superiority in the creation of Adam, Allah's creature that Allah created to be the one who will be responsible in the earth. So this is, he's saying that the father of the jinn, it is Iblis that he's speaking of. Min marijin min narin, and from marijin, we said from a very luminous, strong flame, min narin, of fire, or of an active element, an active natural element that resembles heat, light and heat. Huwa lahibuha al-khalisu. It is free, or its flame is free min dukhani, free of smoke. So here in this tafsir, that he is also saying that marriage, he's defining, meaning that its flame is free of smoke. Okay, now let's go and take a look at the reflection and the comment. The jinn are those who are not completely developed. I am taking from the verse and speaking from it as a metaphor. The jinn being a metaphor, the verse being a metaphor. It's not literal. We're not talking about fire, as we know fire in a literal sense. So the jinn are those who are not completely developed. They have human form, but their content is not the complete human being. Their fiery, rational thinking is like a blaze or a flame. When applied to material things, it breaks it down to its most primary elements, revealing the knowledge that was hidden to the eye or mind. They also have the power to build great techno-industrial societies. This is the jinn that's made of fire. However, the complete human being that Allah wants to be responsible for society is the one that has been influenced from something of Allah's spirit, from the heavenly scriptures or heavenly fire. Not only does the complete human being possess empirical knowledge, but he also possesses knowledge of the mysteries and secrets of a higher, universal, divine reality. Smoke is a sign of repentance. The fire that gives no smoke is a sign of the nature of the jinn that does not consider the moral consequence of his actions. Thus, he offers no repentance. We thank you for this short time, for this presentation. Peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum.